Hi guys, Han here, and yes, we are sitting in a little bit of low light today because you guys are having a light sensitivity day. Anyway, today's video topic has been voted for by my lovely channel members. If you're not a channel member, you'd like to be, then you can check out the link down below in the description and join my membership from my main channel, The Haniverse. If you don't know, now you know. But today we're going to be talking about the topic of disagreeing with your idols. And actually, technically, this can be applied to any celebrity or any artist that you like, your favorite singer, your favorite dancer, your favorite actor, your favorite writer, whatever it might be. But of course, we're going to be talking about this through the lens of K-pop. And the reason this topic came to mind recently is because, of course, J-Hope has announced, I don't know why it's always Hobie, but anyway, Hobie has announced that he's going to be releasing his third single, Killing It Girl, on June 13th, on the anniversary. My voice almost back, let's go! Yeah, he's going to be releasing that soon. And I think in a recent interview, he said that he wants to work with a black female rapper from the US. Now, you're gonna have to forgive me, I don't know this girl's name because I do not listen to much English music. I've never heard of this person before. Like, even when I saw her, I was like, who the hell was that? No shade to her, I'm sure she's a great artist, whatever it may be. But what I did see, anyway, the reason I bring this up is because in the comments, there was pandemonium. Because when is there ever a quiet day in Armyville, honestly? Half the people in the comments were like, I don't want it, I don't like that, I don't like that. And of course, bearing in mind it was a black female rapper, a lot of people were quick to jump on the throat to be like, oh, you're just saying that because you're racist? Oh, you're just saying that because you hate women? You don't want to see BTS around women? Blah, 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 blah. Like, there was both sides of the argument, right? So some people were like, I'm not really feeling this based on what? I don't know, because I don't know who this person is. So I don't know if she's got a rap sheet already, if she's known for being problematic. I don't know. I don't know if they're just racist people. I don't know if they're just misogynist. I don't know. But and then on the other side, you've got people who are like, this is his artistic vision. If he says he wants it, I'm going to support him 100%. Like, it's up to him who he chooses to work with. It's not our place to tell him what to do. Like, how dare you disagree with him? If you're a true fan, true armies are always supporting what BTS want. And I was just like, guys, is it that deep? So this is not the first time that I've seen this kind of discourse happen in the army world. It's not the first time I've even seen this kind of discourse happen around J-Hope. And also, literally, like, last week, my friend, who's a carrot, was telling me about a very similar situation happening with SVT, with two members being on a TV show with a, like, MC who's got, like, a bad rap sheet or something or the other, and fans being disappointed that they chose to do the schedule because apparently SVT gets to choose a lot of their schedules, which I would imagine for an artist of their caliber and seniority. But whatever the case might be, if we then apply the same logic to this situation, the question is, as fans, do we have the right to disagree with choices that our idols make? And if we do, how can we voice those in a way that is healthy? By that second question, you could probably already guess what side of the fence I sit on that first question. Do we as fans, hold on a second, Augustus, you've literally been sleeping all day. Why is it the second you wake up you want to eat a wire? Can you stop, please? Sir. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't let me see you near that wire. You, come here. He's got some medication in him, so he's actually in a bit of a mood. Sorry, the mic's like over here. Just sit down. You were sitting next to me like 5 minutes ago. The first question was, do we as fans have the right to disagree with our idols or with our artists when they make decisions we don't like? And the reason I said this has happened around J-Hope before is because when he released Jack in the Box, he initially did not release a physical album. And this, oh my goodness, this honestly was blown way out of proportion for what it was. But the fandom had a field day because a lot of people, obviously, with every decision that anybody makes that we don't like is automatically big hitful. So half the fandom was like, big hit, this is it, you never put the same amount of energy into Hobie, this is why he didn't get letters when he first debuted. People will never let this man forget that he did not get letters at the beginning of his career. Like, you guys, you know you're actively like dragging up this man's trauma. Calm down. Anyway, whatever the case may be. When that happened, a lot of people were like, what the hell is this? A lot of people were just like, I get it, it's his choice, I respect his choice, but I would have liked an album. Honestly, regardless of where you sat or how you reacted, I think everybody agreed that we wanted a physical album. But the way that people went about expressing that, he's back at the wire, give me a second. Regardless of what side of the fence you sat on in terms of how you responded, ultimately everybody agreed that we wanted a physical album. But the question was this his choice? And if it was his choice, do we have the right to voice disagreement with his choice? Now, ultimately, the people who voiced their disagreement voiced it very aggressively, and that led to him releasing the physical version of Jack in the Box. But by the time we got that physical version, it was already tainted by all this animosity and all this online backlash. And even in the thanks to, he had mentioned how it had been actually his choice not to make a physical the first time, and he didn't realize how big of an impact that would have on the fandom and how much people really cared about physical media. Because obviously physical media is a dying form, but that's a conversation for another day. But that raised the question, is it okay for us to have felt that way in the first place? And I am here today to argue that it is. We are allowed to have opinions, dare I say it. And now, I know before somebody comes to try to jump down my throat, calm down. Let me finish my argument first, okay? Relax. It's just K-pop. It's never just K-pop. But anyway, I digress. I do think we as individuals, we as fans, are allowed to say, I see this as your artistic vision, I see this as a choice you made, but I don't like it. Because, as shown by the example that I just gave, there are times where there is a disconnect between the artist's intentions and the sentiment of the fans. On an even deeper, more fundamental level, that you're a person, he is a person, she is a person. We all think differently. And some things, it's not like a moral dilemma, it's not a human rights issue. It's simply just, we have different values, we have different thoughts about a topic. And we are allowed to have that. We are allowed to be people. The fact that you're an army does not mean that you cannot have any sort of personal identity within your fan life. Me as a Black army will have a different experience from a Latina army, which will have a different experience from a Korean army. And that's okay. All those experiences are valid. In the same vein, all those opinions are valid, unless it's coming to something like racism or sexism or something like that. In that case, if you're part of the ism, you're part of the problem. But anyway, this is what we're talking about today. Let me say this now. This video is not to be used as someone's defense to say that, oh, it's okay that that idol did like box braids, or it's okay that this idol like insulted gay people. No, do not misconstrue my words saying that we don't have a right, that we can disagree with something that an idol did and then it doesn't matter and there's no consequences. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that in these kind of situations where it's something that fundamentally has no real world impact, where it's not important whether this album has a physical or not, these kind of situations are where we can voice our opinions and we can respect our difference in opinions, okay? So what I'm saying here is that ultimately, in my opinion, we can disagree with an idol, even if it means we disagree with their artistic vision, because we are our own people. Someone will see a painting and they will say, this is the most magical painting in the world. It's got so much depth, the color choice is beautiful, the technique is beautiful, blah, 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 blah. And someone else will see the same painting and say, I can see the artistic value in it, I can see the technique, I can see the thought behind it, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. And that's fair. That is what every form of art is. Art is subjective. I think we can all agree on that, right? So what happens when someone, an artist that you like, then makes something that you don't like? It doesn't matter. And I think as fans, this is not just armies now, I think across K-pop and across most fandoms in most areas, we have put ourselves in this position where we believe we have to like everything an artist makes in order to be a true fan of that artist. And personally, I think that mindset is toxic. And I know people don't like the word toxic because it gets thrown around all the time. And I agree, but at the end of the day, I can't think of a better word. I do think it's toxic because it's saying that in order for you to be part of this monolith, you cannot have any individuality. It's taking away free thinking. It's taking away our ability to analyze situations. It's taking away our ability to communicate our thoughts and opinions intellectually rather than emotionally, and also have them received intellectually rather than emotionally. If I say I don't like this song, that should not equate to, I hate this song, I hate this artist, I can't believe they would do this to me after all the years I've invested into supporting. It doesn't need to be that deep. You can dislike a single song. And you know what? I actually had a friend, okay, an army friend, just an online friend, mind you, who we stopped being friends over this exact issue. It was when Permission to Dance was released, and she hates that song. Fair enough. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with you hating the song, but she had a problem with it. She could not wrap her mind around the fact that BTS would make a song that she does not like. It was the first time in all her years in fandom, however long that was, that she had come across a BTS song that she could not stand. She said she hated the sound of the song. She didn't like the whole vibe of it. She didn't even like the music video. Like, I told her, like, okay, well, you can watch the music video without listening to it if you want to stream or something, or you can just enjoy the memes. You don't have to listen to the song if you don't like it. Like, it's not the end of the world. But she, when I tell you, this girl was losing her mind. And mind you, this is someone older than me as well. She was going through it because she didn't like the song. And I was just like, it's okay for you to not like the song. Now, what led to us fighting and ultimately not being friends anymore, because the only thing that connected us was BTS anyway, was the fact that she was like, I can't believe that BTS would willingly make this song. I think this song had to be forced on them by the company. Now, if you're an army, we know that BTS have a lot of input into their music. They've had input from day one. And at that time, that was not something that was normal. Even now, I wouldn't consider that normal for idols to have that much control over the kind of music they make. I personally am a believer of, I want BTS, as people that I like, as people as I support, I want them to have creative freedom. I want them to have the freedom to explore, to experiment, to do different things. And sometimes those are going to be misses for me. And that's okay. That's okay. I don't have to like everything that BTS touches. I don't have to like everything that's got BTS name on it. Right now, they just released the Festa merch. I buy Festa merch every year because I want something as a memento of every year that I've been a fan. And I'm not buying anything this year because it's ugly. I'm sorry, that shit is so ugly. Oh my gosh, you had one job. Hire an army to do the graphic design. What are we doing, guys? What is this? What is this? I'm sorry. I'm actually mad. I might still buy something, but like genuinely, I think it's all ugly. Maybe only the like basketball jersey is kind of just like on the borderline of okay for me. Like, it could be something I wear at home as pajamas, but that's really fucking expensive pajamas. So I'm still thinking about it. And also I don't actually have any money. So there's that. Anyway, my point being is that I don't think there's anything wrong with you not liking something that an artist make. But the thing that she said that pissed me off was that she questioned if this was BTS's artistry, if this is something they truly believed in or cared about, just because she didn't like it. And that for me is where I find issue. An idol you like can make a decision you don't like, but that doesn't mean that it's not genuine. Like, for me, it's the questioning of the artistry that I just felt that was incredibly insulting. If you love an artist, that means you love allowing them to be an artist. And art is, again, subjective, but in a way, it involves trial and error and failure and sometimes unexpected success. BTS themselves don't love Dynamite, but they did it as a creative experiment, and look what it did for them. The members, as far as we know, as far as what they've told us, love Permission to Dance. They had a fun time producing it. They saw how successful Dynamite and Butter were when they stepped outside of their usual realm of music, and they were like, hey, let's try something else. And they did it, and they had a good time. The dance itself is fun. It's very meaningful for a lot of people. We all know how a lot of people around the world reacted to the International Sign Language. Like, Permission to Dance is more than a song in a way. It's a testament, if you will. I think we're getting too deep. But my point being is that just because it's different doesn't mean it's their artistry. It's also kind of like saying, like, I think if we look at this from a different perspective, if we look at this from a more clear example, let's use the songs that Namjoon has written for BTS versus his solo music. Now, I could do a whole other video on the whole is BTS K-pop statement, BTS is no longer K-pop, and what I personally think about all of those things, because I have a lot to say. But we can objectively agree that RPWP is not a K-pop album. It's an alternative album at best, right? It's got indie, it's got hip hop, it's got alternative rap, it's got a bunch of different genres in it, and none of those genres are pop. And that's fine, that's fine. At the same time, he is a K-pop idol, right? And at the same time, the music he writes for BTS often leans more pop because that's supposed to be their identity as a group, right? Now, if you go past title tracks, that can also be questioned. But my point being is that fundamentally, the styles are different. Now, you cannot be a fan who comes into know Namjoon through RPWP and then listen to his BTS work and say, that's not truly him. The company's forcing him to make that because they need that to sound like BTS sound. That is objectively false. He made this music because he likes this music, and he made this music because he likes this music, and it just so happens that those two types of music are not necessarily for the same audience. And I think that is honestly where this kind of like, how could they make something I don't like, really hit people, is that they don't realize that an artist is not like restricted to a singular type of music, a singular type of art, a singular genre. You can make pop songs and make alternative rap, and both of those could be true to that artist, but you as a listener might only like pop, or you might only like alternative rap, and that is fine. But the issue comes when you say that one of those two artistic expressions is any less genuine than the other because you can't reconcile the fact that someone you like would make that. And for me, like I said, the reason this really pissed me off is because BTS are artists who are known for putting themselves in their music. They are known for having their hands in everything they produce. They are known for embedding their own story into their music. So for you as a fan, someone who claims to love them, claims to know them, to turn around and say that I don't believe this can be their expression because I don't like how they've expressed it, that was where, for me personally, we had a problem. Like I said, this friendship was built on BTS, so if we don't agree about that, there's not really much of a basis. I'm not saying break up with your friends over K-pop, but I'm saying that was my K-pop friend. So if we didn't agree, what was the friendship to be? Anyway, I digress. Now, that's basically my thoughts on the can you disagree with an idol that you like. The next question is, if you disagree, how can you express that? And I think this is honestly where a lot of people get things wrong, especially because we always have to remember that K-pop is a very wide community. It's involving people from different backgrounds, different age groups, different cultures, different languages, different education levels, and not everybody is going to articulate things in the way that we think is right in our culture based on our experience, right? This might sound a little holier than thou, but I do think ultimately, regardless of cultural background, we can agree that you can express your opinion, a negative opinion, mind you, we're talking about, express a negative opinion without directly insulting someone. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, this song's a bit of a miss for me, or I'm not really about that, like, this is not for me, I'll sit this one out. Yes, to a non-native English speaker, some of those comments might sound a little bit harsh, especially if you can't, like, really hear the generational tone to it, I guess. Like, for young people, me saying, like, it's a miss for me, people are going to understand that as, oh, I don't like it. It's not going to be like, oh, that's disgusting. But for someone older, they might take it that way. That's completely fine. I feel like some level of misunderstanding is always going to exist, like I said, because there's so many, like, demographic factors to take into account that cannot all be covered. But I think you, when you express your opinion, have to be mindful, at least for the people within your community, how your message is going to be read. And at least then, if it is misconstrued by someone outside that community who doesn't really understand that way of expression, then the rest of your community can come to your defense and be like, hey, within our community, it doesn't mean that. Like, it's not that deep, you know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, like, oh, you know, I think I'm going to sit this one out. This one's not really for me. Or, oh, I really wish he had made a physical, but I get it. It's his choice not to. I respect that. But I personally would have preferred it. For me personally, I don't think I posted anything about the J-Hope album situation at the time it was happening. I didn't think it was necessary. I didn't really think there was much conversation to be had. I felt personally that I would have liked a physical album. I'm someone who's actually very big on the lyric book. I use Spotify, and Spotify takes fucking forever to put the lyrics on the app. We didn't have lyrics on the app for the longest time anyway, and then when they come out, they're always late. And mind you, they're still often wrong as well. Spotify, what are we doing? Like, why can we not just get the lyrics directly from the artist like everybody else? Anyway, I digress. But I like to check that official lyric book because that's more likely to have the correct lyrics, and I can actually look and sit and reflect on what the artist was trying to say in their song. That's how I like to enjoy music. Why did I bring that up? Oh yeah, so that was the part that I personally felt was missing from the Weverse version, which is what he ended up releasing. And I do actually think, like, I was a big hater of the Weverse versions at the very beginning, but as time has gone on, I do think they've gotten better. I don't really get the point of Weverse album, like the app, because why would I want a app for streaming only Hive artists? Like, I feel like that's too much. But I like what it is, like the smaller, cheaper version of the album that young fans can enjoy. Recent albums come with photo cards, postcards, stickers, like they still contain quite a lot even without the CD. And do we really need a CD? No. So I think actually Weverse albums have really improved, but at that time it was literally 2 photo cards and a QR code. Yes, the design was cute, but I don't feel that, bear in mind the price hasn't changed as well, but we're getting so much more in recent Weverse albums, shows you that they could have done more. Now, mind you, of course, ultimately it was also Hobie's decision, so that's fine. But my point being is that that's how I felt about it at the time. I was like, this honestly seems like you're just selling photo cards. I don't really see the point of it. And I would have preferred something more substantial to add to my collection, to have a memento of everything that all the members have done, right? And like I said, you can express that in so many words online. You have to be aware of how people are going to take the way you express it and the things that you say. But where I personally draw the line is when you start saying things like, I can't believe he's done this. How could you do this to me? This has to be the company's fault. He would never do this. Like, you're talking like you know him. Like, babes, calm down. I am never one to use a parasocial relationship as an insult, because if you look at psychology, parasocial relationships are actually healthy and necessary for you to not be a psychopath. It means you can empathize with somebody. You don't have to know someone to have a connection or to care about them. But I think the Delulu is strong with this one. And the Delulu was strong with this one. But that Delulu, questionable. My point being is that when you start attacking the artist, that tagging the artist, that's a really big thing that I don't like. You can express your opinions. You can even express it on the timeline. This is another thing. People will say like, oh, keep it to the DMs, keep it to... No, we are a community. We go online. We go on Twitter. We go on Instagram. We go on TikTok to be part of a community, to talk to members of our community. We need to learn to respect people who have slightly different opinions to us. It's fine. It's okay. If you personally cannot handle someone having a different opinion to you, then you need to tailor your timeline, but you don't get to tell people what to post or what not to post on their own channels. And mind you, this video is not me telling you what to or what not to post. I'm just telling you what I think about what you post. You came to my channel to hear my opinion, okay? But I'm not going to come to your tweet or your Instagram and be like, hey, don't post this, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to block you. Use your block button liberally. Honestly, if I have a conversation with somebody that is more than 3 messages long and I don't like their tone, I will block you with a swiftness. I don't care. There's 8 billion people on this earth. I don't have to deal with your bitch ass. Anyway, my point being, you can express your opinion publicly. You can express your opinion honestly, respectfully, but do not tag the artist. That is doing too much, because at that point, you are now dictating to them how they should create their art. I don't stand by that. If you don't like the art, don't consume it. Plain and simple. If you don't, there are BTS songs I don't like. There's some songs that, you know what, you listen to them the first time and you're like, it's all right. And then it comes up a couple times and you're like, Spotify radio. And after like 2 months, you're like, okay, actually, this is a banger. One of my favorite BTS songs, literally my top 5, but BTS Outro Her. The first time I heard the song, I was like, no. Bear in mind, it's written by Yoongi, my own bias. Bias since day one, mind you. I was like, I'm not really feeling this song. I don't know what came up. Firstly, I don't know what possessed me to not like this song in the first place. But I don't know why. After maybe like, I want to say like a year, suddenly the song came back to me and I was upset. You know what? I think it must have been Love Yourself Answer, because it was on the repackage, right? I think when I listened to that album like fully, like streaming, I was like, wow, this song is amazing. Also, I love the lyrics. I love like the message, the story of that song. That song has been in the top 5 songs of the year in my Spotify Wrapped since I subscribed to Spotify. But I didn't like it for the first year of its existence. Sometimes songs come back to you like that, and I still love that song, mind you. But anyway, the point is, sometimes things come back to you. But even, how many years am I now? 8 years into my army life, there are still some BTS songs that I don't like. Not many. I would say like 3 maybe. Rain. It's one of those songs where if I'm not really paying attention and it suddenly comes on, I'll leave it. But like if I'm actively listening to my music, I will skip that song every time. I'm sorry. The lyrics are great, but I just don't vibe with the song. Oh, you guys, no, I'm not going to say that because I think people are going to go crazy. It's not Bomb Now, mind you. It's a different song, but I know it's a song that is deeply loved by this fandom. I'm going to keep that to myself. Anyway, like I said, honestly, there's also the thing of like, if you have nothing nice to say, you don't have to say anything at all. Anyway, but anyway, my point being, don't dictate to the artist what you think they should or should not be doing. Again, don't do this whole thing of like, oh, it's the company, blah, 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 blah. Like, don't question the artistry behind it. Say you don't like it and move the fuck on. Like, ultimately, you have the choice just not to interact with it anyway. You don't have to give your 2 cents on everything. Like I said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. If you do want to say something, say it and let it be done. But, like, don't beat this dead horse. Don't blow it into this, like, exorbitant thing. Like, don't hyperbolize the situation, and ultimately come to terms with that it's okay for you as a fan not to like something that your favorite artist does, and that does not mean you have to have like an online crash out because of it. Like, calm down, honey. Calm down. It's not that deep. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say on this topic. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you agree? Do you disagree? If you disagree, I'm blocking you. No, I'm joking. You can leave your opinions because I'm asking, but don't fight with me and don't fight each other. Please, guys, let's keep this healthy. Communication, that's what I said. Remember, we can express our differences respectfully. Also, in terms of Hobie's song, like I said, I don't know anything about the woman he said he wants to collab with. If she's fine, I hope they do the collab. I hope it bangs. Show them what we got, that black girl magic. If she's a problem, I hope they don't collab. Stay away from my man. Whatever the case might be. Like, honestly, I can even think of an example of technically, it's not a collaboration, but something that Beaters have done is also Hobie. I don't know why. This video is very Hobie centric. I don't have any problem with Hobie. In case you don't know, I'm going to the concert in like 2 weeks. I'm so, no, it's next week. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Anyway, oh my god, what am I wearing? Anyway, I digress. He went on Jay Park's show. I don't even know what it's called because I don't fuck with Jay Park. I actually genuinely cannot stand Jay Park. I think his music is great, but I don't consume it because I don't like him. And the thought of putting a dime, a cent, a nickel is bigger than a cent, a penny, a shilling in that man's pocket pisses me off. I don't care what you say. I do not like Jay Park. I will never fuck with him. I have never fucked with him. And you know what? When Hobie went in his show, I didn't watch it. Did I go and rave about it online? No. Did I say that Hobie was toxic for hanging out or appearing on a show with somebody I don't like? No. I watched the clip of him eating Jay Park up at his own dance, and that was it. That's all I've consumed of that show. I can live without that little bit of army law. I won't die. And you shouldn't die either. You don't have to like every song. You don't have to like every album packaging. You don't have to like every concept photo. And you don't have to be silent about it, but be respectful about it. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. Leave a like, leave your opinion, subscribe, all the good stuff. And check out the main if you haven't already. Thank you again to my channel members for voting for this topic. I hope the rest of you also enjoyed. I have a lot more content ideas to catch up with because we took some time off last month because my cat was sick. Okay. But yeah, he's on the mend thanks to you guys. But yeah, this has been Han from The Haniverse. Thanks for stopping by. Annyeong.